Hey everyone, I'm Zanbig, this is Auto Group, and this is the 2018 Lexus NX300 F-Sport. This is the all-wheel drive one. It has huge 17-inch rims, half black, half silver. They look really nice, and this has the same engine as the GS200T. I think it's slightly detuned. It has 235 horsepower, and I think the same amount of torque as well. Inside it does have new look seats, and it's a black interior with a white exterior. It's got that F-Sport badge. Let's go up front. I want to show you the big spindle grille, and it looks really good on this car specifically. It looks very good. You have the fish hook lights over here. You got the single LED bulb over there. No fog lights over here. You know, you got your park assist sensors. You got your radar cruise control, lane keep assist. Fog lights are actually down here, so this part is just like a fake air vent type thing. It doesn't yeah, it's a little open, but then the rest of it is closed. And of course, you know, your big beautiful spindle grille, which I think looks very good. You know, it's just personal opinion, whatever you think about it. But anyways, let's also move on to the back. I really like the back stance of this car, and this is the same platform as the Toyota RAV4, but this car looks totally different. So I think this is standard even if you get the non-F-Sport, but it has like this blacked out effect on the top of the tail light. It looks very nice. It doesn't ruin the actual look of the light, but it creates a very nice like angular look on the light. Anyways, also, you know, of course you got your reflectors, but the dual exhaust output looks very good because it's kind of like in the back, so the garnish looks very nice on the outside, and of course it has a silver diffuser. I think the car looks pretty good on the outside. Inside it's also very good with the new infotainment system with the trackpad and everything. Inside I think it looks very good. It has contrast white stitching on the seats and as well as on the dashboard. It has a 6-speed transmission, which is not the same that you get in, you know, of course, the rear-wheel drive like GS200 or the RC or the IS. But once Lexus puts all-wheel drive, most of their cars are the 6-speed. The exception is the LS500 with the 10-speed automatic. But anyways, the getting in, the height is kind of like a car because this is a pretty low crossover, so it's pretty good, you know. And then you sit in, and these seats hold you really nice and comfortable. As you can see, there's a lot of bowstrings because this is the F-Sport. Anyways, I want to show you one thing that I really don't like about the speedometer. Let's go on the other side. What I don't really like is the fact that this is a full-out F-Sport car, but the gauge cluster, as you can see, the speedometer is just like a little white. It's the normal speedometer that you get and the tachometer, but it just has this white coloring to make it sporty. They could have put the electronic one. I don't know why they didn't do that, especially this car is like $48,000, so that's one problem. But of course it does have, you know, you got your differential lock, heated steering wheel, your auto lighting, imaging, and then you have two or three missing options over here. You got your trunk opening, you got your blind spot monitor also, and of course this does actually have, which is really nice, three settings for memory, which is really cool, especially at this price point. A lot of cars don't do that. You know, a fully loaded Lexus IS350 F-Sport, which is like $50,000 to $55,000, doesn't have memory seats. So it also doesn't have a power tilt and telescopic steering wheel, but this car does. You got the little switch right here, which is really good. This has a leather perforated steering wheel because this is the F-Sport, which is really nice. It's also got the nice little F-Sport badge, which I really like. Over here, you do have a little bit of plastic over here, but I don't really mind that because this car is pretty well priced. And what I love is that it had this little grain over here at the switch for your modes. I really like that. It creates a nice feel. It's just not your normal mode. Also, a couple other features. You know, of course, you got your traction control off over here. You got a perforation over here on the gear selector as well. The new trackpad, which is actually pretty cool. I really like it. And then this is pretty weird. You have like a little coin holder place, but then you also have a mirror. It's blue right now because the protective film is on, but as you can see a little bit through it, it is silver. So that's pretty nice, and then you can put it back in. And I love these exposed Lexus, like the little nuts, like the little screws that they have. It says Lexus on 3 sides, and it's very nice. It creates a very artistic touch, which I really like. And then couple other things, the turn signal stocks look actually pretty good. They don't look that bad at all. Paddle shifters are plastic, but they still do kind of feel good to click them. Anyways, the display is huge. Let me show you that. Alright, and the engine starts up pretty nice and loud. So the gauge cluster is absolutely huge, and you got the new animation. That's so nice. I'm really happy that they put that in for this car. So the trackpad usage is really good, and you can actually pinch it like an iPhone and pinch to zoom and stuff, and it actually moves very fluid. And all the settings, when you click on menu, you can go into so many different things. At first I really did not like this. When I sat in the LS500, I was like, man, why didn't they keep the other joystick thingy? But when you go into the controls, you know, it's nice and easy to use. Actually, the pointer goes and fits on certain things to help you manage them easier, which is really good. And oh yes, this is what I wanted. Thank God, there's a cursor speed. Boom, I put it to fast. Now what you can do is you can move it more in a shorter distance, which is really nice. I really like that. And I don't know if you can see this, but when you go over something, there's like a little bulge that jumps up in the back just to highlight it. It makes it very like 3D and nice to look at. And then of course, you know, you got your map and you can put in your destinations and stuff. That's really good. Of course, you have your climate control settings. They're very nice toggle switches. Like this is stuff you see in Mercedes usually, but because they do these types of toggle switches, and it's very nice. And of course, it gives you the temperature over here on this display and on the screen, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, let's turn that down, or else it's gonna destroy the audio quality. But you got your tuning and volume knob as well, which is cool. You know, Lexus gives you that. It's not some sort of touchscreen you gotta go in and stuff. But anyways, let's go check out the back seat, because this is set to basically my position. Also, Lexus gives you a really nice light over here at nighttime to help you see, you know, a little fiddle with the door. Anyway, so it's a little cramped, and I'm like 6'2", but it's nice that the seat is kind of soft, so if you like bump into it, it's very nice and plush. Also, your armrest, I don't like how it hangs. I really don't like these types of armrests. I wish it was a whole piece, but it's okay. This is all about practicality. It's an SUV, you know, you could drop the the second row, and you got your air vents over here to turn on and off also. What else? This isn't leather, this is new looks, but it still feels really good. Like, you could barely tell. I had to literally like run through it and be like, oh, it's not leather. Like, very, very carefully, you can only know, because the material usage is very good. Even on the door, of course, the bottom is a little plastic, you know, nobody likes that. And then over here, there's some bad seams, but other than that, your whole armrest over here is soft plush material, and over here is also nice soft touch. And on the top, it has contrast stitching with faux leather, and then there's like an aluminum pattern, which looks pretty cool. Let's also check out the trunk. Oh, my plastic. Okay, anyways, of course it's electronic. Why wouldn't Lexus give you that? And oh gosh, somebody put a lot of stuff back here. Well, this can actually show you that this car has a lot of room. It also has your little cargo net thingy and your cargo covered up. What the heck is going on here? Alright, so this cargo cover thingy, as my specialist team has just told me of Auto Group, that you can actually remove this over here, you know, and what you can do is you can fold it up and even take it out, which is really nice. And it's, of course, it's felted and stuff, and there's a lot of room. And also, of course, you get your signature Lexus first aid kit, because why won't you want to be safe? And especially since this is such a practical car, you always need these types of things in it, in case you're going camping or something. I think that's pretty much it for. Oh, look at this, it's a whole Speedometer in the back, and it's only one, but that's still pretty cool that you get one in the trunk. And of course, it has your little, and then you walk away in style, of course, since it's a Lexus, and you don't make eye contact with anyone who doesn't have a Lexus also, so that's pretty interesting. And anyways, we'll also go on the drive, but right before that, let me show you something else. Alrighty, so this has a different engine cover on it, and I feel like they definitely changed some stuff up from the GS's Turbo 4 to this Turbo 4, since, you know, it is an SUV. It's feeding a different transmission. I think it makes a little less power. It's slightly detuned, like 6 less horsepower, and I think about the same amount of torque. But the packing looks very good and makes that nice like clicking sound, you know. And battery packing, everything looks absolutely fantastic in here. Most of it is covered up, but still you could see the main power plant, which is something Lexus doesn't do a lot. But in these 4-cylinder ones, it's mostly all exposed, which I really like. And you could probably even take this cover off and be like, oh, look at your engine, you know. And the cool thing about these turbo engines, I was doing a little bit of research, that you could do a lot of modifications. Since it is a turbocharged engine, you can do a lot of ECU tunes, and a lot of companies give you kits and stuff for these cars, aftermarket ones, you know, which is really cool. But I mean, this is an SUV, you probably won't be doing that, but that's just something I wanted to let you know. Let's also hear the exhaust note, because this is a Turbo 4. We want to hear, you know, how it sounds considering it's a 4-cylinder. I think it also has some intake noise inside, which sounds really good out on the road. It kind of gives you a little bit more bass inside. I think that's something that most Lexus F-Sport cars do. Oh, those Teslas look so nice. Tesla is shipping all their new cars, and they're all packaging. You see the Model 3, you see the Model X. I kind of want to review one of those now. But anyways, we got to focus on this car right now, which is also awesome. I can't wait to go behind the wheel. Alright, so I like the way this car pushes for sure. Let's get it out on the road. I haven't even started, you know, talking about anything yet. Do you hear how loud that is inside? And there's barely any pushing you have to do on the accelerator pedal. And it just goes so quick. I love that. It's very easy to drive, very smooth. Sounds very good, pushes very good, and you can pass people so smoothly. And since this is in Sport Plus right now, let's also check out the body roll. Give me 1 second. It's very, very smooth. The steering gets stiff and nice. Man, I don't know what Lexus does these days, but their cars are so good in the F-Sport trims. They're just muy bien. And other thing is that since we have it in Sport Plus, it's very loud, and the accelerator is so sharp. Visibility is also really good. The brakes are fantastic. In turns, there's not a lot of slop of the steering at all, and it's just so smooth. There's barely any there's a little bit of body lean, of course, it's an SUV, but it's very planted overall. I love that. And the steering is nice and small in diameter. It doesn't make it feel like an SUV, it just feels like a car, you know. Very sporty. I love it. I anyways love the chassis of the new, you know, the RAV4 and everything, and it's just very good. And we have a little bit of cars in front of us, so we can't go way too fast at all, but still it's nice. It's very nice and comfortable inside as well. Actually, you know what, let's just slow down a bit so we can just get a little gap with these cars. I want to have fun. This is a nice car. I want to drive it openly, but there are a lot of cars. Okay, when this turn. Yes, thank God, all the cars went away. It's just so confidence inspiring. I love just flooring it over, and it sounds so good. Listen to that. Very nice. And the brakes, barely any effort. They feel so good. And the steering gets very nice and stiff. And you know, for a second I forgot that this is a 4-cylinder, because the push you feel, and it's just so different. You know, Lexus barely turbocharges their cars. They only have this engine and the twin turbo in the new LS, which is a V6. It's very good. And in turns, I mean, it's so fun. This is an SUV and it's a Lexus, you know, two things that don't mainly like evoke any emotion in a lot of people, but it's so good. What an awesome car you're getting, especially for the money. And of course, this turn we always take, the really sharp one where everything falls in the back seat. Everything just... Alright, now let's take it on the highway. Gear, the only problem I have with this car is the transmission, which could be way better. The thing is, it holds a lot of gears really long because it has only 6. But with the 8-speed, man, it's so fun. And I love the fact that this is a 4-cylinder. And we're going, how are we going 70? I'm barely touching on the gas. Like, I'm not flooring it. I'm just pushing on the gas normally, you know. Very, very little by little. The sound opens up. It's just so good. Very smooth. There's a little bit of wind noise I'm hearing. Let's take a listen. There's not a lot of tire noise either. These are nice and plush tires. This is absolutely fun. This is actually fun for an SUV and for any car, even a normal car. I don't know how they did this so well, but I'm really glad they did, because it's an awesome car to just drive around. And I keep saying car and not SUV because it feels like such a car, you know. I mean, it is a crossover, but still, that's very cool. Wow, it's great. Of course, there's a little bit of road noise. It's not as, you know, like quiet as an RX or something, but it's still very good. And since it's so confidence inspiring, I keep finding myself going like really faster than I should. Listen to that sound. Oh my god, this is absolutely a joy. And I can talk to you and not be so worried about the way this car is driving because it's so capable. Man, that was a fun time for sure. All our runs, the suspension quality is very good too, and I just love it, you know. It's so good. Very nice car, a very fun experience. Now I got traffic. Now we can sit back, pop it in normal mode. Let's see, you know, now the revs fall, the accelerator gets less sensitive, and it's such a good experience overall. I love that about this car. The visibility is also really good. We haven't talked about those things because I've been flooring it and enjoying it so much. But visibility out the back is pretty good. View mirror is pretty good. Navigation system is good. I don't like to use any navigation. A lot of people purposefully say, it's such a bandwagon that they purposefully be like, that, oh, this is the hardest infotainment system to use while you're driving. Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyways when you're driving, you know? I mean, there's no point, because you're supposed to be focused on the road and not all the time your infotainment. And even when you're setting, let's say you're setting the radio or something still. And I noticed like the same bump we took over last time right now in normal was way softer because we had it in normal, but right now we have it in Sport Plus. And the steering is still nice and light. It's just a joy to drive, you know. Now I really wanted to drive the GS200T, which is actually my dad's favorite car, and it has the same engine, a little bit more power. But man, this is so fun, and I can already tell what that car can do just by driving this car. It's an absolute joy. Y'all can go. Beware of my turbocharged 4-cylinder. Such a nice car to drive. Such a joy to just turn the steering wheel. Get so much like weird, like you actually get some feel through the steering wheel, which is crazy to think about, considering, you know, people always are like, oh, Lexus can't do steering, Lexus can't do, you know, all they can do is luxury. But this is such a mix of both, and it works so well. And I think I parked really bad, but who really cares? I mean, I want to keep on driving this car. It's a very good car. Look at the materials even on that portion of the dashboard. A lot of cars just have, you know, faux leather without any stitching, but over here you actually have stitching. You have perforation. It's so good. And you know, the whole dashboard has this top stitched layout. It's so much quality for $48K that you're getting such a bang for your buck. Like, this is the whole package. You can fit 5 people. You can drive super fun. There's very limited body roll. It's just a great car. Lexus is obviously reliable as well. Wow, what an awesome car. overall, the time with the 2018 Lexus NX300 F-Sport all-wheel drive has been absolutely fantastic. I love the way this car drives. It's very comfortable. The seats are very good. You know, they're basically right out of like an IS350. They hold you in place. It's just a great car. All-wheel drive. You could drive this in the winter time as well, and it's good for acceleration times as well. And the 4-cylinder really, like, it's very good for this car and for the size. It gives you a lot of good power. There's not a lot of turbo lag at all, but it's mainly just the transmission that this car needs a better transmission, which would really help it. But you forget all those things when you like start flooring it, especially in Sport Plus. It drives so good and it looks so good. In my opinion, I don't care what anybody says about the way this car looks. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode of Auto Group. Make sure to like and subscribe for weekly videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. मैंने वैसे तो ऑन कर दिया मगर दूर
यूं लेके गाड़ी दिखाऊं?
हैं?
यूं लेके फिर दिखाऊं गाड़ी?
नहीं, पूरा दिखा।
ऊंचा बोलना पड़ेगा।
सही है।
रेडी?
Hey everyone, I'm Zen Big. This is नहीं, बहुत कच्चा था ये। फिर से ये बोतल कहाँ से आ गई भाई? He not detected.
नहीं
एक अगर यूं बना लो, एक यूं, मतलब जिसमें स्टीयरिंग है, जैसे तुम नहीं करते यहाँ करीब आके, हाँ ये वाला, और नीचे थोड़ा, हाँ ऐसा, और फिर दूसरा वाला वो यूं अगर अंदर तरफ में, जिसमें है ना, हाँ ऑन है। अच्छा पहले तो हम चलाते हैं, सही चलते रहेंगे। स्टीयरिंग करिए। कितना सॉफ्ट है स्टीयरिंग।